This magic is not easily controlled. It can burst out randomly, resulting in accidental casualties. The only way that this magic can be controlled is if the user forgets the value of life itself. Next, we will be going over immobilization magic. This magic would be under the area effect magic, black arts magic, caster magic, and time magic. This magic involves freezing time in a specific area. Along with this, the user can choose which individuals are frozen in time and which individuals are not. The rest of the area and the affected individuals have their colors inverted. And the third and final magic covered under the umbrella of black arts magic is living magic. This magic would be under the categories of black arts magic, caster magic, and living magic. This magic allows the user to bring their creations to life along with use inanimate objects to craft their creatures, crafting multiple creatures at once, giving their creatures distinct appearances, personalities, and abilities, which can also include magic, complete control over their creations in most instances. Though some creations require slightly different casting methods, the only notable drawback would be that the creatures created with this magic only live as long as the user. The only known users of this magic include Zeref Dragneel, Hades, though in his case he had to use the eye magic or caster magic, known as Demon's Eye, to use living magic properly, and some unnamed dark mages. And the living magic spells are catalogued within the Book of Zeref. In terms of creatures created through the use of this magic, Zeref Dragneel has created the most significant number of creatures at a whopping 17 different creatures. These include END, or Ethereus Natsu Dragneel. Natsu is considered one of Zeref's creations, since Zeref revived him before being sent 400 years into the future to defeat Acnologia, along with 4 other dragon slayers, which include Gajeel Redfox, Wendy Marvel, Sting Eucliffe, and Rogue Cheney. For more information on Natsu Dragneel, please check out our anime deep dive on Natsu Dragneel. Larcade Dragneel. One of the byproducts of Zeref's numerous attempts to revive Natsu, though due to his strength, Zeref gave him the surname Dragneel. Larcade specializes in pleasure magic, famished soul magic, white arts magic, and RIP magic. He is also a member of the Spriggan 12. Bloodman. Another member of the Spriggan 12, who specializes in Ice Devil Slayer magic, though the majority of Zeref's living magic creations ended up populating the Dark Guild Tartaros, which Zeref calls his bookshelf. These individuals are Mardgeir Tartaros, the founder of the Dark Guild Tartaros, who specializes in telepathy magic, along with his curses being Thorn Curse, Algeria, and Memento Mori. 8 out of the 9 members of the 9 Demon Gates are Kyouka, one of the only 2 female members of the 9 Demon Gates, who specializes in organic link magic, along with her curses being Enhancement, which enhances her target's strength or physical sensations as she sees fit, which she most often uses to increase the amount of pain the targets feel, and can be used to remove their senses and absorption curse, which allows her to absorb another's power. She shares this curse with Franmalth. Along with those, she could change into her Ethereus form, which enhanced her more avian features. Jackal, whose only main form of combat utilized is his bomb curse, which is a magic that involves the use of magic bombs and his ability to change into his Ethereus form, which resembles a sizable yellow werewolf. Tempester, whose curse is the Calamity Curse, which allows Tempester to control and manipulate natural disasters. His Ethereus form changes his body into a far more menacing version of himself. Keys, one of the more twisted members of the 9 Demon Gates, whose curse is Necromancy, which revolves around manipulating and controlling dead bodies and corpses. In combat, Keys uses a Kakara, which is a staff topped with metal rings. He is the only member of the 9 Demon Gates that doesn't seem to have an Ethereus form. He was also responsible for reviving the only member of the 9 Demon Gates not created by Zeref Dragneel, Silver Fullbuster. Franmalth, whose curse is Absorption, which, as the name implies, allows him to absorb others' powers and use them at will. And in terms of alternate forms, due to his absorption abilities, he can take forms that are based on the celestial spirits Ares and Taurus, along with a bizarro version of his master Hades, and a lightning fire dragon mode after absorbing Natsu's lightning fire dragon's roar. But he doesn't have an ethereous form, and as stated previously, he shares this curse with Kyouka. Tora Fazar. His curse, Tenshi Kaime, allows him to control large waves of water powerful enough to render even fire from the Fire Dragon Slayer magic users useless in battle. When in his ethereous form, it accentuates his more aquatic features while growing in size. Ezel. His curse, Tenga Goken, allows Ezel to give his four arms the properties of blades to use attacks such as Onimaru or Mikazuki. When in his ethereous form, his typically limited wardrobe is given several additions, which include a dark garment that covers his torso, which include light edges and wing-shaped protrusions which point upwards on the sides of his head, and an ornamental chain above it, layers of cloth around his waist that have a central dark section that has a light layer of cloth over it that goes up Ezel's torso, which itself has four rectangular cloths that hang over ethereous tentacles. A kabuto, a Japanese helmet with its dark hachi adorned with a front crest curved like a blade. A neck guard known as a shikoro. A chin guard or hanbo. And finally, some decorative plumage on the ethereus's nape. Along with all of that, he wears a mask that may reference Japanese facial armor, covering the top half of his face, along with his teeth notably extended and his arms being transformed into blades. And Saila, the second female member of the 9 Demon Gates. She has access to 2 separate curses at her disposal, with one being the macro curse, which gives her complete control over her opponents as if they are following her orders, and the Demon Eyes curse, which gives her access to a form more powerful than her ethereous form. She can use this curse after using the macro curse on herself and ordering herself to let go of her limits. Her ethereous form is far more monstrous, with her skin darkening, hair growing, her chest becoming bare and revealing the tattoos that decorate it. The Tartarus guild shown on her stomach under her heart tattoo and her lower body changes with the legs becoming narrow stilts. Her hips widen and have wing-like protrusions, and her feet become blades. The last 5 of Zeref's creations were Lullaby, a flute that is topped with a wooden skull with purple eyes that uses sound magic to kill anyone who can hear its music, except for the caster. Its ethereous form is a far more gargantuan beast with 3 eyes, 2 legs, 2 arms, 1 head, and multiple cuts all over its body. This creature was defeated by Natsu Dragneel, Grey Fullbuster, and Ezra Scarlet, while trying to stop Eisenwald Guild from killing the guildmasters during an annual meeting they were all attending. Deliora, a massive dark blue monster with scales on its hands and spikes all over his body, with a large mane and horns that jutted upward from its forehead. This monster was responsible for the deaths of Grey Fullbuster's parents, as well as many other victims. Its primary attack is known as Disaster Strike, a powerful, lime-colored beam fired from its mouth. Deliora was ultimately defeated by Grey Fullbuster's mentor, after sacrificing herself, casting the iced shell to trap the beast in an ice prison. Years later, one of Yr's other pupils, Lion Vastia, tried to use Galuna Island's moondrip to free the monster. The spell weakens Deliora to the point where once freed from the ice, he crumbles to pieces as the iced shell had been draining Deliora's life force the entire time it was trapped. Yakdoriga, a creature that is a combination of a frog, insect, and octopus that acted as a servant of the 9 Demon Gates. Lammy, a mass-produced Ethereus, took the form of a small girl who acted as a servant of Kyouka. And Nemesis, a spell found in Chapter 4, Section 12 of one of the books of Zeref. The spell creates monsters out of rocks by moving their hands and arms in a circular motion. These monsters attack through tendril-like attacks or beams shot from their mouths. Zeref Dragneel and Hades use this spell. The final spell of note from this subset of magic is Alive, covered under the categories of Takeover Magic and Living Magic. It creates serpentine-like monsters out of inanimate objects and buildings, as the spell is to be used in large areas such as towns or cities. And if this magic is used too often, it will overtake the user, though the only known users of this magic are some unnamed dark mages. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all this information thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials have got you covered. Our We the Celestials My Hero Academia and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, then I'd like to extend you an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being, we only accept members from 16 years and up to join the crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interests by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching and have a great day.